and welcome to the Arsenal Fans Focus, where this podcast is all about you, the fans. You love the game, your passion, and your opinion. Let's get started. Right, we're joined by Adam, Lloyd, and Jake. Guys, how you been?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, all good, man. All good.
Don't all respond at once, though. Do you know what I mean? God, jeez. Anyway, right. Guys, we're going to dive into some things. We're going to talk, obviously, there's not been a lot going on in the Premier League, obviously, because of Champions League that's been going on. We can talk, what we're going to talk about is if anyone knows about some of our players, how well some of our players have been doing in international games. Also, I want to talk about the women's game. I really want to talk about that because, that is some inspiration to the men's. It should be. It really should be. And the other thing I want to talk about is what you're going to be seeing now, flashing down the old side. And I want you guys' opinions on this. Okay, I don't know if you guys read it.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Oh, would you? Okay, so that's one. Yep. Another thing we're going to be talking about.
Never going to happen.
Sorry?
Never going to happen.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's just talk about it. I'm going to talk about a little bit about Ødegaard and a little bit about the manager. And it's not going to be negative because one thing, because I've been having talks with certain Arsenal fans on the groups and not a lot of them, but I can't believe how many still saying, "Oh, he's not the man to get us over the line." But let's just start first with what that's I was going to start with first. I wanted to start off with how would you guys about Trent Alexander? Obviously, he doesn't play for Arsenal, but I want to hear some of your reactions about what fans are saying about him. And guys, I'm not going to say, Adam, you go, then you go. Guys, let's just all randomly just have a chat like we're sitting in our own front rooms with mates. So, what do you guys think about Alexandra going to Real Madrid? Do you think he's a traitor? Does anyone think he's a traitor?
I don't think he's a traitor. I think, there's no link to Liverpool and Real Madrid. I think Liverpool fans are being... they're understandably upset. It's a local hero, and he's Liverpool born and bred and all that. I think there's only probably one or two clubs he would have ever gone to in the world, and Real Madrid's one of them. He's won everything he can at Liverpool, and I think he's got the chance to go and test himself abroad. It's weird because there's years of English players didn't go abroad, and I kind of criticise them for it. And as soon as someone does it, they get criticised. You can't really win. I do understand and upset, but I don't think it's all Liverpool fans. I know some Liverpool season ticket holders who kind of don't begrudge him the move. He's done all he can for. I think the main issue is the running of the contract down. I think if it had gone for 80 million last summer, it wouldn't have been an issue. I think they'd have gone, yeah, thanks for your service, and you brought some money. I think it's the fact he's run his contract down that they don't like. But equally, he gets a better deal out of it. So I can see why they're upset, but I don't really get the abuse, if I'm honest.
Anyone else want to jump in on this?
Yeah, same. Like, it's like my uncle. I was talking to my uncle about it the other day. Like, he's a Liverpool fan, unfortunately, but yeah, like the thing with Alexander-Arnold, like, obviously he's done what he's had for Liverpool. He's won the Champions Leagues, won Premier Leagues, and he's always said, like, if I've got this wrong, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he say, like, a couple of seasons back he wanted to go to Real Madrid, or did I hear that wrong?
Well, I think he was asked a few years ago about whether he wanted to play abroad, and he said he hadn't really given any thought. But again, that probably was pre, Champions Leagues and FA Cups. It was quite early when he broke through. So he's probably looking at going, what more can I do at Liverpool? Not many people turn down Real Madrid. I know there's people that have turned down Real Madrid, but not many people turn them down.
No, I think there's always been strong rumours for years. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I think the way you got to think about it, I think. With Trent, I think the same way Grealish went, but Grealish went and obviously got them a massive fee and changed Villa's fortunes, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the Liverpool fans aren't really happy as well, like you said, with him bringing his contract down. But you can't really blame him if you're not going to give him a better deal or put him on better terms. Then you know what I mean?
It's like what Adam just said as well. Like, it's Real Madrid. Like, do you say no to Real Madrid?
Exactly.
I wouldn't put it this way. If Real Madrid offered me 500 grand a week, I wouldn't say no to Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like think about it like this. If I think Saliba won't leave us until he's maybe won a Premier League or a Champions League.
Do you know?
Do you know what I mean? I think because Trent's done that. Because Trent's done that, it's like I've done that now. I've done all I can. I've achieved all I can with my club. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know something. I mean, I want to ask you this. You say you can't really blame him, but put yourself. Before I say that, last season they came in with how much? How many? I think was it 100?
Somewhere around that bracket, I think.
120 million.
Yeah, I think it was 115 or something, wasn't it?
20 something. They came in last season for him. Now, put yourself as an Arsenal fan in their shoes, in the fans' shoes. Do you remember when Robin Van Persie, what he did to Arsenal? You might say, but
I can forget.
You can't forget that. And who was the other one? There was another one that went.
Ashley Cole was obviously.
Ashley Cole to Chelsea. Adebayor to Man City.
How would you feel? How would you feel as an Arsenal fan?
Yeah, but I think that's a very different scenario.
I agree.
Why?
Totally different.
Why?
Because Van Persie hadn't won anything with us. He had a couple of good seasons with us over a longer period of time, and when he started banging in 30 goals a season for us, and everyone was behind him, you don't leave us then.
And same league, like you're going to a biggest rival in the same league. I think Cesc went out to Barcelona, and no one really begrudged him. I know he's Spanish and it's different, but when he went to Barcelona, everyone could understand that. I think the Chelsea thing hurt more when he came back from Barca because it was Chelsea. Despite the fact we had the chance to sign him, I think again when it's your own league and he's going to a local rival, well, not even a local rival, a rival like United, it just hurts a lot more. I think if Saka went to Real Madrid in 7 or 8 years' time, I'd be really disappointed, but I would understand it and I wouldn't abuse him. I don't really get that. Okay. Now, if he went to Spurs or Man United,
what about Saliba? So what if Saliba decides if Real Madrid comes in and slap 130 million right on Arsenal's table and he goes, how would you feel about that?
I think we're just in a different position as a club.
Yeah.
We're in a lot stronger position now where we can probably back people off.
Right, we can, you know something? One thing.
I'll be the mad one still with Saliba.
Yeah, but fans, what fans should realise, there is no loyalty in football. There is when it comes to players, there isn't. Okay, money talks and bullshit, and that's a fact. Okay, you can say for 1 minute, I love the club, I love the city, I love where I am, my family loves it here, and I want my family's got my kids are going to the school. Next week and you can see them kissing the badge. The next week they could be gone to Real Madrid, or they can go to some other club. What I'm trying to say is, look, I mean, yeah, it hurts. It does hurt fans. Of course, it would hurt me. It would hurt, but when Percy left, I couldn't believe it. I know, all right, he never won anything. Okay, fine, but you still wanted that loyalty. Don't forget what Arsenal did for Van Persie. Van Persie may not have won anything, but you got to remember, Van Persie was an injury prone. He was injury prone. Arsenal stood by that guy. Arsenal stood by him thick and thin until he got back to where he was. When he got back to where he was, see you later. See you later. I'm going Man United. And when he went to Man United, he won the trophy. I mean, okay, fine. But
I'd have had no problem with it going to Real Madrid, though. I think it was because it was United I had the problem. Again, I would have had no problem with Van Persie going to Real Madrid because it was out of the league. I think there is loyalty in football, and I think there has been one club, men, especially local players, and I think it isn't. I think it's still a thing that happens. I know Gerrard almost had his head turned, but you look at people like Scholes and Neville. I don't think they ever considered leaving Man United.
But what I'm trying to say, but that's those days.
Yeah,
those days. You're not getting the money in them days. You're not getting the money what you're getting now.
Well, I don't think it is all money. I genuinely think I think Trent was offered a big money deal at Liverpool. I don't think the money is that different with Real. What I think it is now is that I think times have changed and players get the opportunity to go and play abroad. In the 90s, you probably had 2 or 3 English players playing abroad. Like Paul Ince was unusual going to Inter Milan. obviously Gaza at Lazio, and it was an unusual thing. Now you look at the amount of players that have broken through at like clubs like Dortmund, and tried it even at 18, 19, like Bellingham, Sancho, and I think players are now wanting to try their hand in other leagues. Spanish players have been fantastic for years. They still came to the Premier League. Like the La Liga was strong, but you still had massive, Xabi Alonso, Cesc Fabregas coming over here because, and it's almost like we're a bit kind of arrogant in this country, thinking why would you want to leave the Premier League and go to La Liga? And I don't think it is that decision that I don't think Trent would ever have gone to another English club, but he wanted to go and test himself in Spain. And I kind of get it.
No, I agree with you. I don't think he'd have gone to another English
But
club.
I've got one for you. When you said about loyalty in football, that and all that. Remember when Sol Campbell did it when he left Spurs to join us, and he got called all the names under the sun, didn't he? Excuse my French here, you know what I mean? He got called the names under the sun, cunt, wanker, bastard, you know what I mean? He got all that abuse, and he's still getting it today, like, so it's a bit like that, isn't it?
He's still getting it.
But one thing I'd say about Trent, sorry, but just from probably a personal player's point of view, is that because there's so many eyes on the Premier League, you're getting pelters every week. Like all I hear about with Trent, great ball or shit defender. Do you know what I mean? And I think if he goes to Spain, they'll appreciate his game a lot more.
Yeah,
the press are bad at it.
To be honest with you, Jake, I don't know. I think, well, especially Real Madrid's fans, if you're not playing and if you're not up to the standard that they're saying,
yeah,
I mean, they literally
their defending is different. Obviously, defending's big out there, but it's not the same that we look at it. I don't think it's all about him pinging passes like that every week. They'll be loving him.
Yeah, their fullbacks have always been probably better going forward than they are defensively. If you look at the players,
if you underperform, look what happened to Bellamy. A few months back, they were on his back because he wasn't producing.
But I don't think Trent's afraid of the pressure of being at Real, but I think the Spanish league will suit him more. As I say, the way that Madrid set up with their fullbacks, they've always gone forward. Going back to the days of Roberto Carlos. I mean, Roberto Carlos was a great defender, but he was given that license to just roam forward. They've always had a very good, solid, number 6 who sits in there in front of 2 top class centre backs, and it will free him up a little bit. I'm not saying Liverpool don't have that, but I don't think Madrid get attacked, that often, especially in the Bernabeu, and I think he will have, freedom to roam forward. And I think he'll do well out there. I do. I think he'll be better out there than he is over here. I think
I'm just trying to think as well, though. Who's he going to replace in that defence? Because they've already got Rudiger, Mendy. Who else have they got? That's 2. Yeah, Rudiger, Mendy,
Carvajal, and
Carvajal, and who's the other guy?
Carvajal's like 36 now.
Yeah, Carvajal's coming to the end of his career.
Trent will go straight in there, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And who else have they got? Who's the other one they got? They got another one. Who else have they got?
Well, it'll be Carvajal right back that he replace. I mean, I think it's a like for like. I think he's the long-term replacement for Carvajal.
Well, like you said, how old is he? 36, 37, and he's so well, then he'll go right in there, then, won't he?
And if he'll go straight in there.
I think, like I said, if you put the shoe on your foot, and how would we feel about our players, any of our top players leaving? I mean, at least we ain't won no trophies, so we say that's different, but it's still the same feeling.
Say we went another 3 years without winning a trophy. Would you? I think I feel different if Saka left now for Real Madrid. If in 3 years' time and we won nothing and we invested and we still won nothing, would you begrudge Saka leaving?
After 3 years winning nothing in the next 3 years?
Would you begrudge the player?
No, I wouldn't begrudge him.
Not that I'd say Saka would probably stay, but
I would not begrudge him.
But equally the other way around, Jake. If we did what Liverpool did in the next 5 years and won everything, then I wouldn't begrudge Saka going to Madrid or Barca.
You wouldn't.
I don't think. As I say, I think social media has highlighted it a lot more than it was back in the day. I think there was problems with players moving back in the day, but they didn't have that obviously hatred. I think most of the stuff you see now is on Twitter. It'd be very interesting on Tuesday night if he plays against, or Wednesday, I think it is, against Everton at home, like whether he gets pelters or he's actually supported, because I think it'll be a mixture. I don't think that
I think he's injured, isn't he? I think he's out for a while.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But what a lot of the fans have been hearing as well, saying that Trent hasn't been given his 100% for Liverpool since the beginning of the season. I don't agree. I don't believe that. I don't agree with that.
I don't think he's. I don't know. It's weird with Trent because I don't think he's that great.
I think he's a really good.
I understand he's got a pass on him. Don't get me wrong, but you take that away.
He's not only got a pass; he's got a goal in him as well.
No,
No, come on. Yeah, he does. He does. Trent does give some goals.
I think he's great going forward, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't swap him for a Timber personally, because I just think what Timber offers the other. I just think defensively Timber's miles ahead of him. But equally, I think Trent would struggle in a team that wasn't dominating, because he would get. I mean, Doku at City absolutely ran him ragged. I know Liverpool won that game, but he was, if Doku had a final pass, that he'd have been at fault for 2 or 3 of those goals. But I think again, he's a great player, but he's been next to Van Dijk and Konate, have bailed him out a lot of times defensively.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Do you feel? I feel like he's a bit like when we used to play a couple of years ago when we had Zinchenko at left back, and everyone just started pinging it to Zinchenko every time we had the ball. I feel like they do that with Trent at Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's sort of their weakness, and you obviously don't want to be known for that. But he is a great player. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't say like Van Dijk was covering him, whereas we had Rob Holding covering him at times. And
exactly.
Oh, well, okay, cool. Well, all right. Well, since we talked about it, I want to talk a little bit about Ødegaard, because apparently he's done really well in an international break. Did you guys see it? He's done when Norway bought 1-4-2.
Yeah, I heard he got a hat trick of assists, but I don't know who was it against.
Israel.
Israel.
Yeah.
And there was another team another country they played, didn't they?
They won 5-0 at home as well. It was one of the minnows. I'm trying to think who it was. It was it wasn't the Faroe Islands. It was. It'll come back to me.
A lot of people are saying that again. They're saying that's the old Ødegaard. What's the difference now? Why can't it do the same thing in the league? What's going on in the league?
Because he's playing Israel and Faroe Islands. With due respect, I think
it's got a bit more than that.
There's a straightforward answer.
Yeah, these internationals pain me because I just feel like no one's really giving 100% either team. Do you know what I mean? I feel like getting to the end of the season where it's business time, I don't think everyone's giving 100% really. Saying that though, I think Lewis Skelly played very, very well.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with that.
I mean, before we get, I mean, again, I don't know, maybe it's, do you think the captaincy is weighing a lot on him? Do you think it should be taken away from him?
I don't. I'd say for me, he's been captain for 2 very, very good seasons before this. I think he was outstanding in both seasons. I don't think the captaincy's suddenly become a burden. I just think he's been off form a little bit this season. He had the injury which held him back a little bit. He was out for a long time this season. I don't think he fully recovered. I know we joked about it a couple of weeks ago. He had the child. I don't know if that was an issue.
Yeah.
For me, I think Ødegaard's got enough in the bank here to kind of. He's even admitted himself he wasn't brilliant at times, and I kind of rate that. He knows his standard could be higher. I know there's people calling for Gabriel, Rice, or Saliba to be captain, but I don't think. I watch Ødegaard regularly. He's maybe not the loudest, but he kind of pumps the crowd up. I think people like him as a captain. I don't think the dressing room have got any problem with it, and I think he will come back. I think his form's been slightly better recently, and I think he's still got. I think when Saka plays, he's better. Like Saka and him have that unbelievable understanding, and a lot of his chances are created through Saka's runs. And I think with Saka being back, you'll see the best of Ødegaard. And I still think he's got a big part to play in the end of the season. I really do.
Yeah, so do I.
But it's the lack of consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, but he knows that himself. Like I think again, he's not hidden behind it. He said he expected better of himself, and I've got no problem with it. A player comes out and knows they're not playing great. I'd have more of a problem if a player was coasting through a game and thinking they were doing well, but he knows his level can go up, and I think that can happen to anyone. Everyone has a dip in form. Look at Phil Foden this year. Phil Foden's fallen off a cliff. Like, he's been much worse than Ødegaard.
Even last year.
Not even Phil Foden. Even Cole Palmer.
Yeah, exactly. Last 2 months, it happens. And I think he's trying to work through it, and I think you can't fault his commitment or what he's trying to do.
But the thing about it, again, it's about because Arteta relies on the whole team sharing the goals. I think he's only scored 4 goals this in league and Champions League, or did he?
I don't think he's fully recovered.
You don't.
I don't think he's fully recovered. And I think when he has come back, those early games, he was just trying so hard to score.
Yeah.
And I think you just get back to trying too hard to score and get back to your natural game and just do what you do. But to be fair, when when we're at our best, it's because Ødegaard's at his best. Do you know what I mean? And even when we're not at our best, this Ødegaard is always trying to obviously pick them passes and get us going. But I like him as our captain. I think he's a like perfect Arsenal captain for like traditions of our club, sort of thing. He might not be the loudest shouting like a Gabriel or a Rice, but yeah, I like him. I think with Saka back, you're right. He'll get back to his best, I think.
Okay, cool. All right, look, can we just talk a little bit about the women's? I don't know if anyone's watched it. Did anyone watch the game at all?
I caught the end of the first half, and I did watch the second half as well. So,
I saw a little bit yesterday, but
I just caught the highlights. I saw highlights.
Right. And how did you guys feel? How did that make you feel, knowing that they were 2-0 down at the well, they didn't play at the Bernabeu, but they played in Hackney Marshes. You know what I mean? They and 2-0 down.
Hackney Marshes. Remember, I don't live too far from there, so yeah.
All right, and come to the Emirates, played on a snooker table, and went and beat them 3-0. Was it 3? Yeah, 3-0, wasn't it?
Yeah. Should have been more. Should have been 5.
Yeah. I mean, Russo should have had 5.
Do you think that will rub off to the men's team?
Let's hope.
I think it can only help, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot. I think you should talk about this. Mbappe and Vinny might not be available.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Sorry, I might jump in the gun. Sorry, mate.
The gun there, mate. Jump in the gun. But never mind. Let's get back to the women's game. Okay.
Yeah, but as you said, Pat, like hopefully now, you know what I mean? Hopefully the men watched that last night and thought, yo, now the women have beat them. Let's see if we can beat them. Let's see if we can beat the men's team. Let's see if we can match what the women done, innit? Because
Real Madrid's women are very good.
Yeah, Leon last week.
Sorry?
Yeah, Leon next round, isn't it? Yeah.
Leon women are going to be a problem. There's a young girl that come on. I think she come on as a sub and just put it top bin straight away. Like, unbelievable finish.
But I think it's just momentum as a club. You know, as I said, I think the men's and women's team obviously do intertwine. I think again the crowds at the Emirates. I think it's a massive result. I think they were really kind of annoyed about the pitch last week. We joke about it, but even Wright came down and he said about how bad the pitch was in. You say you wouldn't see a League Two pitch like the one that they played over in there. I mean, Hackney Marshes probably is better. We're joking aside, but I think they came back and thought, you've beaten us on a very boggy pitch that probably played to your advantage a little bit. And
I've seen Hackney Marshes at its worst. Trust me.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, big up to the women's team. Well done. Right. Absolute brilliant. I'm hoping you go to the final. I'm sure you will. Hopefully, fingers crossed and stuff. So, Okay. I want to ask you guys about Saka on his way back. How are you guys feeling about that? Is he coming back too soon? Are we taking a risk? I'm even hearing people on social media saying that they should bring him in for the Fulham game. Give him a run out last 20 minutes. What do you guys think about that?
Last I heard, he was going to be having a behind closed doors game.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
I think Fulham might be too quick. But then again, if he can come on if he's fit enough to play, I think he's only got back on the pitch recently, hasn't he? So, yeah, I don't know. In the dark,
I don't think he's got back on the pitch yet because I think he's just waiting for everyone to come back off international break. Oh, then that's when
he should be training, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's when he'll be on the pitch with the ball.
Yeah. Do you know what I think, guys? Do you know what I think? Sometimes you got to take risks, innit? If he's raring to go and he's ready, then play him, innit?
Yeah, but you say sometimes we've got to take risks, but you're talking about someone's career.
Yeah. I was about to come on to that. I was going to say, like, we don't want to risk it now, and then what? And then he plays, and then what? And then he gets injured again, and he's going to be out for like another 6-7 months. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
I think if you have a hamstring injury, you're fit on it. The only person I remember coming back early from a hamstring injury was Fabregas. We put him on. I remember Villa at home years ago, 2009, I think it was, and he came on and pulled up after he scored the winning goal. Yeah, and that was like the only time I've ever really seen it. But I think with these day and age, with the technology they've got, and he's going to be feeding back. I think if he's fit enough, I said before, if he's fit enough to do 2 weeks of training, there's no way I wouldn't play him against Madrid at home. I mean, that place is going to be rocking as it is. But when Saka's name is read out, it's his first. I think if it's his first game at the Emirates, I wouldn't play him against Fulham. If it's his first game at the Emirates for a couple of months, 2-3 months. I mean, the lift we're going to get as well, seeing him out there, I think Madrid are going to be kind of like, they won't face him.
So are you saying that you wouldn't play him against Fulham, but you'll play him against in the second leg?
I'd probably put I wouldn't play him against Fulham. Then I'd probably, if he was fit enough, I'd probably put him in the squad at Everton and put him on the bench. And if we needed something late on, then bring him on. But then I'd be starting him in the Madrid game. There's not a chance if he's fit, I wouldn't be starting him in that game. I think the lift it would give the players, the crowd. I think Madrid won't want to face him. I think if Madrid see a team sheet without Saka in there, they'll be loving it. I think, again, any team with Saka in it's going to improve, and I'd be playing him. If he's training now, he's still 2 weeks away. I think he's going to be fit enough, personally.
Yeah.
You say that Madrid. You said Madrid would be a what?
I think they'd be worried. I think they'd be worried if they saw Saka's name in the team. If they saw Saka on the bench, I think they're going, great, he's not playing. And that's not even me saying like Waneri wouldn't play. I just think, Saka is the one that puts the fear in them. He's the one. They'd have watched what he did against PSG, against Liverpool, like the top teams in Europe. He's scored big goals. He's made goals. They won't want to face him. He's the player they'll worry about.
Yeah, he creates chances for us as well. So yeah. Let's wrap him up and cotton ball till then.
And set piece deliveries. Again, even just that. Now, any corner we're going to get, and he starts taking it against Real Madrid at home. I just think, the crowd will be just kind of the excitement levels will go through the roof.
I was going to ask you guys before we get to the Real Madrid game. Have you guys heard anything about? Have you heard about Real Madrid trying to hijack Zubimendi? Did you hear about it? I
did hear about it, but I don't know. Until I can't trust anything until he's there with the shirt in his hand on the website. Well, apparently all the rumblings are that it's pretty much a done deal. But
apparently he's quite close to Arteta. I didn't know that until today. Apparently he knows Arteta quite well.
His agent was thinking it.
I don't know how they know each other, but he said they know each other quite well.
There's links with the agent.
Yeah. But I think he's going to come. But if I'm honest, like again, if I'm going more by reputation with Zubimendi than I've not seen him on numerous occasions. If I'm honest, I'm not saying it's not a great signing. I trust what they do as a club, but I'm going more on kind of what I've heard than I've seen with Zubimendi, if I'm honest. And if we lost him, I wouldn't be devastated. I think I want him, again from the reputation he has. But I think there's bigger priorities than Zubimendi in the summer, if I'm honest.
Right, because what I've read was that it's got here. Real Sociedad midfielder rejected a move to Liverpool last summer. With Manchester City was involved, also among other teams. And it says here, Arsenal appear to have won the race to sign the signature in January. However, agreeing a 51 million deal with the Basque club to bring him to North London this summer. But reports in Spain now claimed Real Madrid now increasingly close to signing the Spaniard international ahead of the Gunners. Despite the agreement between Arsenal and Sociedad, despite the agreement between Sociedad and Arsenal over the fee, Zubimendi's agent is still listening to offers for his client. That is worrying. Do you not think?
I think if Real Madrid wanted him, they would have had him by now.
No, because they can't sign anyone till the summer, like Arsenal.
I know, but in Spain, Real Madrid get their business done. Do you know what I mean? Like Alexander, we've known for ages Alexander-Arnold's been done. Do you know what I mean? I think with players like that, I think if Real Madrid wanted him, they would have got him. I think the rumblings that we keep hearing, it was like Rice when Rice, we kept hearing Rice is coming. It's like similar with the Zubimendi thing, I think. And I think it will end up just coming.
I think the other thing I've heard as well is saying that if it does fall through, we're looking at Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, I don't know if he'll come to us, but I have to say, I think I've seen a lot more Bruno than I have of Zubimendi, and I think he is, he's the most foul player in the Premier League. He dominates games for Newcastle. And I know there was he could have come to us when he first went to Newcastle. There was a bit of needle there, but if he was available and it was a potential, then I'd be interested in him. It's unlikely, I think it's as unlikely as it is. I think he would fit into our midfield perfectly.
Talks about 60 mil.
Yeah, which I don't think is a bad price for a player of his quality.
If Newcastle don't get Champions League.
Yeah, I think that's a good deal. I think I'd like to think the club are going to have backup options if it goes wrong. We've already gone through this already, where we've kind of put our eggs in one basket and it's fallen through. So I'm hoping that we'll be better prepared this summer.
We could lose Jorginho and Partey as well, so we're going to have to.
I mean, in fact, I think Jorginho's 100% gone. 100%. I think he's gone. Yeah. Partey, I honestly still think he could be a big part of Arsenal, because we need depth, and letting him go, because you're not going to. I can't see Arsenal bringing in two or three midfielders. I can't see it. Okay, so you've got Jorginho's leaving. You've got Partey's going. You've got
we've got Vieira back as well.
Is he coming back?
Well, yeah, but if we sell him, we could end up getting two midfielders like that.
What do you reckon, Adam?
I still think Lewis Skelly can move into that position.
Yeah.
I love him as a left back, but I do think long term he can end up in there. I think Max Downham as well. Again, I know he's young, but I don't think central midfield is as big of a priority as it was maybe 2 years ago. I think there's players coming through from our academy that can fit into those slots. I think we're looking at one central midfield. I think we've got an abundance of midfielders. So I think there's players that can shift into there.
But then, Adam, don't you think? I mean, again, you're talking about academy players.
Yeah.
What a goal the other day.
Next season, all right. Next season is going to be where everyone is going to be looking at Arteta. I can't believe that Arteta can afford to bring in more academy players. You need to bring in. You're going to have to bring in proven marquee players. Look, we need to get over that line now.
Yeah, but Pat, if someone had told you last summer that Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis Skelly would have played a huge part of the season, you probably would have gone and say you probably would have the same thing. Now they're two of the most important players in the squad. Now, I'm not saying Max Downham at 15, 16 years old is going to come in and dominate their midfield, but I think we've got enough numbers in. I think we've got enough quality and numbers in there that we don't have to go and buy two players. I think maybe we'll go and get one. And if it's not Zubimendi, we'll get one other. I think there's. I'm not just saying put Max Downham or Lewis Skelly in there to fill the numbers. I think they're good enough to go and play in central midfield for Arsenal in the long run. On what I've seen.
Right. Okay. Fine. But at the end of the day, he's going to be scrutinised next season. What players he's going to be bringing in? You've got to remember, on top of the hour, Arteta came out and said everyone knows that we've got the most finished squad in the league. He should never have said that. We've had the opportunity to strengthen our team in the summer. We didn't do it. We had the opportunity of bringing in the players that he wanted to bring in, but it never matured. Arteta cannot go into next season and say that we've got the finished team. We can't do that. We can't, because he's gonna. Even though I don't like saying it, and I'll even go as far, if he doesn't win anything next season, does he go? No, I don't want him to go, because he's my man. But he has to deliver something now. He has to deliver something. There's no way that Arteta can go next season and not deliver anything. I'm not talking about, all right, if we don't get the league, because no one's guarantee of the league, he's going to have to bring a silverware in. He's going to have to. And he knows that. He knows that, because now we've got Andrea Bata. That gentleman, and what I've read, can bring in some decent players.
But I think we will bring in. I think we will have money in the bank in the summer, especially because.
Yeah, but it's not about bringing it. It's not about quantity. It's not about quantity. You've got to bring in quality now. He has to bring.
100%, I agree. But I think we will sort out the striking department, and I think we probably do need a couple of midfielders with chop and changes going in, and Jorginho and Partey potentially going out. So I think you're going to have to replace them with quality. And I don't think we will get Bruno and Zubimendi, but I think we will probably get one or the other plus another midfielder. But then again, if Bruno is available for 60 million, why not? I'm sure we can raise some funds in the summer as well from some of ourselves.
There's rumours going around that Arsenal's got over 300 million to spend or 400 million to spend. Would you spend, let's just say you've got 300 million to spend, would you spend half your budget on getting Isak? Adam?
Yes. I genuinely believe we are 2 players away from not only winning the league, I think from being one of the top 3 favourites for the Champions League. I still think we can win it this year. Maybe I'm being a bit ahead of myself, but I still think we can win it this
Champions League.
Sorry, again?
He's talking about Champions League. We can win the
Yeah,
Champions
I don't think there's many teams in Europe better than us at the moment. I think Liverpool, have been outstanding, but I don't look at many teams around Europe. We were saying before, Madrid, Champions Europe. I think it's a coin flip on who goes through out of that.
Remember that, Adam? Liverpool were out, remember?
Yeah, I think if Isak and a winger came in, I would fear no one in Europe, and that includes not even getting a central midfielder in. I think at no point in this season I looked at our team and gone, we're really light in central midfield. I think we've been light on the wing and we've been light out front, but I think central midfield we've always been okay. So yes, I would. If someone said to me, you can buy 2 players and Isak would be half the budget, yeah, I'd say yes in a heartbeat.
I fear Villa in the next round. I'm not even joking.
I don't think they'll beat PSG personally.
I'll tell you what, their manager, I've got Unai Emery. Listen, honestly, he is one underestimated manager in the Premier League. He knows how to win European Cups, not European. In Europe. Yeah, he knows how to do it.
Yeah. Look how many Europa Leagues he won.
He knows how to do it. He knows exactly how to set up his line.
He does. One thing I'll say about Emery, and this is the pressure level that Arsenal compared to Villa. You look at Villa's. I think Villa lost something like 7 out of 9 away games. I think it was at one point, and no one really mentioned it. Arteta, we lose one game and it's a big inquest. And you look at what Villa are, they're 9th at the moment. I know they're still in the mix of the Champions League, but no one really criticises Emery. And the last season at Arsenal, I remember we lost at Watford and they had 32 shots on target. 32 shots on goal, sorry, not target. And there was games there like Emery I'm not saying he's not a great manager, but he's almost untouchable in the media. It's almost like anything he does, he can't be criticised.
No, but that's different. The reason why he's not criticised because he hasn't been challenging for the league for the last 2 seasons. Arsenal have basically got near or almost about to win that league in the last 2 seasons. Not only that, it's just that again. The reason why Arteta's being criticised now, I get some of the criticism because Arsenal's always just about to win the league. We haven't crossed that line. Villa's not been challenging for the league. Villa has been basically challenging to get into the top 4 to get into Champions League, which he has done. Arsenal have been challenging City for the last 2-3 seasons to get over that line. It hasn't happened. That's the difference why Arteta's being criticised because they're saying he's the also ran or the nearly man or whatever. Look, let's have no doubt. A couple of seasons ago, people were saying Arsenal bottled it. I don't think we bottled it. We just didn't. I don't know. We didn't bottle it. Last season, okay, we came so close, 2 points behind. 2 points in winning that league. Okay, everyone, even the grandmother, even the kitchen sink, thought this was Arsenal's year. This was going to be Arsenal. This should have been Arsenal's year. But if we never had those injuries from the very beginning, Mikel Mourinho and God, I can't remember his name now. All the injuries that we had, okay, plus those stupid yellow cards that we got, plus those stupid refereeing decisions that we had against us, and those stupid red cards. If we never had any of those, I reckon the tables would have. I mean, it would have been the other way round. It wouldn't have been Liverpool 12 points in front. That would have been Arsenal. But what I'm trying to say is this was Arsenal's season. This was the time when Arsenal should have won the league. It hasn't happened. I get it. And that's why Arsenal is more scrutinized than Aston Villa. And that's a fact. No one expected Aston Villa to win the league. No one expect. But Aston Villa, their goal was to get into the top 4. That's
what you're saying, though. It's a totally different level of pressure. But you've got to remember as well, this is Arteta's first job.
Yeah.
When we strip everything back, that's what you've got to remember. And
no, and I agree.
We've made some bad decisions this year, and with the transfers and obviously some of the decision making getting booked or whatever. But yeah, you've got to get behind Arteta, and I think he will spend big in the summer. This Berta has been brought in. He's not going to be brought in not to buy players. So I think we will have a busy summer, and I think
I agree with that. And like you said, I mean, but I disagree in a way when you say this is Arteta's first job. It's his first managerial job that he's managed a top flight club, but he's been, on the other hand, assistant manager at Manchester City. Please don't think I'm criticizing, guys, because the way I'm seeing it, what I'm trying to say is I don't want Arteta to be criticized anymore. I really don't, because I believe he is the right man for us. Some people say, is he the right man to take you over the line? I do agree. I do believe that he is. But what I'm trying to say is but behind the scene, sorry, I'm just reading something here. I'm back.
You've got to remember where we were, though.
Oh, yeah.
3-4 years ago.
No, of course. No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not one of those.
I'm just saying generally.
I'm not one of those fans, guys, who's thinking, do you know what I mean? Arteta hasn't won anything, so he's got to go. No, I'm not thinking that. I'm trying to protect Arteta here. Arteta, basically, like I said, and I'm going to say it again, Arteta is the right man for me. He is.
What I don't understand about it, as Jake said, like, you know, what he's done, he's almost created his own downfall, because where we were before, you know, we finished second once in the last 20 years before Arteta, you know, 18 years, you know, since 2005. And even the second we had to Leicester was gone, like, yeah, it was by default. Spurs and Leicester were going for that, like, the title, and we kind of snuck in on the last day. We haven't been second for years. Now Arteta has come in and made us like proper title contenders for the first time in probably 15 years. And he's almost created his own downfall by going ahead of the schedule. I don't think anyone thought we were going to be going near that title 2 years ago. And he's upped the expectations. You know, if someone said to me 3 or 4 years ago when we were sitting in the Europa League and sitting 8th, that we'd be going to a quarterfinal against Real Madrid at home, we'd be second to Liverpool in the league, 9 points ahead of City. And if someone said to me, and you haven't had a striker for the last 3 months, you've been without your best winger, I'd have been like, what a job he's doing. Like, but it's almost like expectations have gone up so high that you can't, it's almost like everyone's expecting we don't win the league and he has to be sacked. It's such a strange mentality. It's almost because we look at City and Chelsea and go, if they don't do anything like that, you have to be sacked. And I just don't get it. I don't honestly know who would be better in this situation. I think the injuries we've had and what he's done,
it's the bigger picture.
Yes, it's a huge job he's done for me.
Yeah, we were in the mud. We couldn't win a game against the top 6.
I get that.
In the last 2 seasons, we haven't lost a game before.
And I totally agree with you guys. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, because I'm not going to be. I'm hearing a lot of people talking about this, and I'm hearing on my side what you guys are saying. But what I'm saying is, and I'm going to say this to you guys as well. How long are you going to wait? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here, because at the end of the day, Arsenal's bigger than Arsenal's one of the biggest clubs in Europe. Arsenal's one of the biggest clubs in the league. How long are you guys prepared to wait to win a trophy or to win the league?
I've waited 21 years for the latest title. I've got a couple more years in me, I think. Like I say, my patience hasn't run out yet. And I'm saying, I don't want. I want to win it. I really do. But I've just loved being in the title race the last couple of years. It was devastating the last day of the season last year. I felt like it was a sucker punch, because I felt for a long time we were going to win it. And the Villa game last year, I remember walking out of the Emirates thinking I was devastated, because that, for me, that was the day we lost it. But I haven't had that feeling for years, even being in a title race. I've not been to the Emirates in the last day of the season. It was the first time I ever went to the Emirates in the last day of the season with a chance of winning the title. Now, I went to Highbury 3 or 4 times with the title already wrapped up. But we're talking 20 years ago, you know, just being back in that mix was unbelievable this year. And I do believe we'll win it in the next 2 years under him, as long as we stay patient.
I said 2 years.
Yeah, and I for me, he's got what he's done the last 2-3 years. I think he's got more than enough in the bank to allow at least another season. And it has to go pretty wrong for me to still change my mind next season, I think.
Okay. All right. So you're saying you'll give it right. You in the next 2 years we'll win something, and you're not talking about the Premier League, are you?
I think we'll win one of the big two in the next 2 years. I think we can win an FA Cup or a League Cup, but I think we're looking at one of the big two in the next 2 years. Personally.
I wouldn't call. No disrespect to the League Cup. I'm not calling the League Cup a big club.
I'm talking Premier League or Champions League. I think we're one of those two.
What do you say, Jake?
Yeah, I think. I'm behind Arteta. I think what he's done for us is.
Okay, cool.
100%. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Let's just quickly jump onto this. I mean, what do you think about this? Do you think it would happen? Real Madrid could lose at least 4 players because of what happened in the last 16 round with Atletico Madrid. I don't know if anyone saw it.
I'll be very surprised.
So would I.
Really? But I agree. Why are you very surprised? Is it because of favoritism?
Yes. I think some of the stuff they've got away with in the past.
What are they potentially being banned for anyway? What's it all about?
Well,
making some gestures to the fans.
Let me go on. You guys carry on. I'm going to try and see if I can find something here. Carry on.
They were making some gestures to the fans after they obviously won on pens. After that.
Oh yeah, they were doing that sort of hand signal to the fans or something, weren't they? All saying that,
yeah, just winding them right up. But it'll never happen. Nothing will come against them. I'll be very surprised. It'll be one of them. They'll get banned next season or something weird like that.
Yeah, like Real Madrid getting away with murder. They got away with murder on penalties there. They got away with murder on penalties there. They're going to get away with murder for this.
I still can't see that his foot touch, his second foot touch that.
Zoomed in, yeah. I'd be, as Jake said, I'd be absolutely amazed. I think, I think they're not the first club to do that kind of thing. I think it would set a dangerous precedent if you started banning 3 or 4 players for a celebration. I think, don't get me wrong, I didn't like watching it myself. I felt for Atletico, but I don't think you're going to ban 4 players on that.
It hurts UEFA anyway, because it makes it less of a spectacle if Mbappe, Vinny aren't playing in one of the biggest ties so far. So
yeah, absolutely, you're absolutely right. They're a money-based, this organisation that they want to see the best teams with the best players playing, and they'll want Saka playing for that reason as well.
Yeah, they're going to want the best players playing, and I don't think they're going to do anything about that.
No, but equally, like as much. Don't get me wrong. I want any advantage we can get, but I want to try. I actually want to play them, at full strength. I want to try and beat them like that. I know it's. Don't get me wrong. If they were out, then great. But I'm not sitting there going, oh, if they do play, we've got no chance. I think we've got a chance playing them anyway. I think there's mind games coming in. I don't think UEFA are looking at this. I think there's mind games coming in from whoever it is, and I just don't see it happening. And I think we need to prepare that we're going to play their best 11 regardless.
I'm just trying to see if I can find this thing here, but I can find it. Yeah, I mean, it was a what do you call it? A gesture that one of the defenders went across his, like cutting the slow cutthroat, and and it looks really bad. And you got
to be fair to him though, he's probably getting the worst abuse.
Do
you know what I mean? And it's probably racist abuse as well. I know that's
probably over
there and what they're like, the Spanish fans. Not generalizing. So even probably doing that is, you know what I mean? It's not a big thing, and they won't get banned at all. Probably get a slap on the wrist or a fine.
More than likely.
I'd be surprised.
I think you guys can see this here now. What's his name? What is his name?
Rudiger.
Yeah, that's it, Rudiger. And then in what he's doing there to their fans, it's not nice, man. It's not nice. Trust me. That looks like me when I'm angry at work.
I've seen that.
And then you got Vinicius Jr. doing this.
What's that? I can't really see.
I can't really see that. What's he doing there?
So He's touching the badge of the
the Champions League. Showing how many Champions Leagues they won.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, 15.
But this is the whole part of the game.
Yeah, hang on. That is the whole part of the game. I agree with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But this, I do not agree with.
Doesn't Højlund do that as a celebration?
I don't know, but what I do know is that sort of thing for me is just as bad as someone calling someone a racist. That's not in football. For me, that should not be in football. So he should be banned.
What, for doing the cutthroat?
Yeah. Why are you doing that? What's that got?
There's probably 20,000 people looking at him doing the same thing.
Okay, I don't know about that. I can't see. But what I can is what he's doing. That does not belong in football. Okay, and that's a fact. Yeah, have a go at the crowd, jeer them back. But when you do them sort of things, it's like what's his name? Phil Foden. Is it Foden? When he does the gun thing.
Yeah.
When he scores. That sort of thing, it shouldn't be in football. I honestly don't. Racism, abuse, these sort of things should not be in football. That's my opinion.
I think we're overthinking that. I think there's two very different things. I think a celebration like that after
that's
imagine we just beat Tottenham and we're all in front of the Tottenham fans. I wouldn't begrudge them. I know it's a cutthroat gesture, but God, it's the whole part of the game. He's probably been getting abused the whole game. Do you know what I mean?
Probably. No, I get what you're saying.
That makes it right. I'm not saying that. But
no, do you know what? I've actually seen something like this before.
Where's that?
Green Street, innit?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, guys. And on that note, man, oh Jesus. But anyway,
what do you think, Pat? Do you think they'll get banned?
To be honest with you, what I've been reading, it's not just about that as well. I mean, because there's four players that committed an offence. So you've got this. Obviously, you've got him. You've got Vinicius Junior. You've got Mbappe, who's up. What is he? Oh, Pat. Honestly, I can't remember what he did, but he did something as well. So you got Mbappe. I know you got the names here. I've got the names
right. So you can ban Sabas. I'm not worried.
If one of them gets banned, I'll be amazed. If four, I've got to fall. Yeah, I'll be.
Imagine the fallout from that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it. All right, let's turn it round then. If that was Arsenal, do you think Arsenal will get banned?
No, I don't.
No.
I think, as Jake said, I don't think they're going to, weaken a team for a quarterfinal in their main competition. I think if it happened during the game as well, I think being after the game is going to help them as well. I think they're going to go, well, it wasn't even during the game. Because, I mean, how many times has there been scuffles down the tunnel after a game? You ban people for all sorts, like if it starts getting into like banning players.
Yeah.
Well,
FIFA or FA, or UEFA, you're listening. I'm saying you need to ban them. All right? Help us.
They need to look into it, one or two.
Help us out here. They need to be banned, all right? Because come on, we ain't got no strikers. So we need help, please. You know what I mean? You got to intervene. This is what I'm saying. I'm kidding. Anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. But I'm going to ask everyone one question, and I want your answers, all right? This is a little thing for me. Just hear me out. If you were to have 11 players of the same player in all positions for one game in the Premier League, who would you take and why? Adam.
In history or just now?
No, just in one game, just for one game.
No, I'm saying like players that have played before.
Yeah. Who would it be?
I always say when I always say Steven Gerrard back in the day, because I just felt like he could play every position. If I was looking at it now, it would be. God, you have to give me a minute on this one. I'm just trying.
Rice.
No, you can't say nothing. No, back up. I want to hear yours in a minute. You just okay. Go on.
Sorry.
All time it would definitely be Steven Gerrard. I'm just trying to think who's all actually. The problem is now there's only players that kind of like set in one position. It's difficult, but
need a name.
Yeah, Rice would be up there. I have to say, Rice would be there.
That's mine.
Okay, I will go Rice until I can think of another one. But Steven Gerrard all time. I will stick with that.
Okay, fine. question to you.
Who said Vieira?
Go on, Jake. Question to you.
Just to Adam, I was just saying, should have been Vieira. Do you know what? Actually, you can have Rice. I'm just going to be on the hype train and say Lewis Skelly.
Okay.
I just think the way he traps his body, he can get past players.
Okay.
Lovely weak foot finish against City. Do you know what I mean? Got it all.
Okay. Lloyd?
Last but not least, yeah. I've already said like all time Vieira.
Yeah.
Now, call me mad or call me whatever, yeah. But you know what? If now Ranieri. Yeah, because obviously he's young. He's full of energy. Got a good shot on him. Scores a goal. Yeah, Ranieri.
Okay.
I think it shows how, as well, sorry, to go on off a tangent, I thought Ranieri was a bit ahead of Lewis Skelly, but I think now with England, as in like a better player, I would say, but I think Lewis Skelly has really shown over the last couple of games for England as well. I was just fitted in straight away, and I think, yeah, we're lucky to have two quality young players.
I think someone like Rodri. I mean, so I've never had a little bit more time to think about it. Someone like Rodri. I was trying to think. I have to say, I thought this was a lot easier 20 years ago. Like for me, like Wayne Rooney, like we said, Patrick Vieira, Wayne Rooney, Steven Gerrard. They were players that played in 6-7 positions. Now players are so pigeonholed in one position. I think Rodri could play across a back four. I think he'd score goals up front. And there's not many players. Rice is a good shout on that basis. Because I don't think, again, even Waneri, I don't know what he's like defensively. I wouldn't like to say back four for Waneri personally at the moment. I don't know what he's like defensively, really. But there's not many players that kind of are that box to box. You know, Roy Keane would have done well as a team of 11. But there's not.
Yaya Toure.
Yeah, Yaya Toure. There's not many players this day and age that kind of like move positions.
I'll tell you who, Calaflori.
I think Gabriel will be all right. I think 11 Gabriel
would be all right.
Saliba used to be a striker.
Yeah.
I'll go for Calaflori, man. Calaflori.
Yeah, that Raya with his pace.
Yeah, David Raya up front.
I'm gonna be wrapping it up now, guys, in a bit, in about 2 minutes. So, just a quick answer on this. Why do you think Lewis Skelly hasn't got the props, the praise for what he's done in the international game? Because I'll tell you now, if that was Phil Foden, if that was what's his name, Palmer, okay, or let's just say you got even who else is there? I don't know. Why do you think he hasn't got the props?
Because a lot of people are not taking notice. Certain people out from Sky and all that and TalkSport, they're not taking notice. They're not seeing it live. You know what I mean?
No. It's not that TalkSport ain't seeing it. TalkSport has been his biggest critic. His biggest critic, and that what's his name, Jason Cundy. Yeah. When I'm going to do a film, I'm going to do a special feature on that bloke. I really am. I'm going to blow him up.
You don't like him, do you?
I
know a lot of people don't.
I think Lewis Skelly. I think he has got a lot of praise since the two performances.
Yeah.
I think he has on. I think he has in. I think I've seen a lot of praise from him. I'm not saying I was in criticism.
I'm talking about his first international call up. I'm talking about his first international goal. It's even certain people was on the media was saying. Obviously, sometimes I watch the newspaper guys on Sky, the last paper thing, and they were saying that Lewis Skelly, they cannot believe why he hasn't got the praise. Why?
I think this is the first time he has got his flowers over the last 2 games.
Yeah,
I think sorry, go on.
Oh, mate.
Oh, sugar.
I think the dynamic has changed from.
Oh my gosh! Okay, good. Oh my gosh! Crazy, right?
Hold up, I think.
Go on, Jake.
So I was just going to say, I think the dynamic has changed, and I think people are looking at Lewis Skelly a lot differently now. He has played internationally, and they can see his quality. Where you've got these other fans that, or pundits, should we say, that were quite negative because he obviously had the couple of send-ins off and are not really watching him what he does in the 90-minute game. Do you know what I mean? I think the people have been watching highlights of him. Oh, he's got sent off again. Oh, he's a young kid. Blah blah blah. And I think yeah, he wasn't treated unfairly during the Arsenal time. But I think now he is starting to get his flowers now.
Yeah, I was going to add to that. I think a lot of the criticism came because of when he was geeing up the crowd when he came off against Spurs, what he did against City. I don't think the criticism was ever about his ability. I didn't see many people say about his ability. It was a bit kind of over the top and a bit kind of borderline arrogant. And I think where he got a little criticism wrongly was when he walked into the England hotel. And he had like a pose, and everyone was saying like he's above himself, he's getting confident. But I love the confidence of Lewis Skelly. That's my favorite thing about him is that for his age, he's years ahead. As Jake said earlier, the way he plays is miles ahead of his years. And I don't think, again, it's an English thing. Like I said earlier about the arrogance of the Premier League, it's like, why are you so confident at 18, 19? You're meant to be a bit humble and a bit kind of like reserved. And the media can't deal with very confident young players. They didn't particularly like Cole Palmer when he first came through and he was giving it the big one at Chelsea, and then like they realised how good he was, and they were like, oh, now he's allowed to do it. I think the same's happening with Lewis Skelly, where he's kind of backing up the kind of confidence, borderline arrogance with the performance, and they're going, oh, what a player. Beforehand, it was like, how are you this arrogant? You've only just broken into the Arsenal team.
No, I just feel that he's just, well, personally myself, I just feel he's not getting the props that he should be getting. But that doesn't matter. Anyway.
I think, don't get me wrong, I do think the press have been giving him sort of a little, oh, don't get ahead of yourself, mate, trying to dress him down. Well, no, 100%. But I will be fair, I think now he has turned heads and he is getting his flowers that he should have been since his performances, since day one, been giving us. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah. But, right. So, right. Diamond Geezer Dave, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
He said I can, but we can't hear him.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
He's messaging when Arsenal lost to Sporting Lisbon 2 years ago. Okay.
Dave, can't hear you, man. We need to sort it out for next time. Okay, because we're gonna be finishing off now. Listen, guys, I really appreciated your company. Thanks very much. And all I want to say is, anyone out there who wants to make a comment about what we spoke about, please feel free to do so. Please follow us on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please hit that like button. We're much appreciated. And we're just going to say thanks very much for joining us.
Subscribe, everyone.
And
mate.
Okay, so the rest of you can stay for a minute, and I'm just going to